What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to the Journey Podcast, joined by cousin Jake. And we have a very special guest today. It is actually our second time appearance for a guest. So I want to welcome Arella.
Hey guys.
Let's go.
Thank
you for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, because you're super busy. Like from what I understand, I know Zach obviously knows you a lot better than I do, but like you have training camp coming up for the WNBA.
I leave in 2 days. I go to Seattle, and I just got back 2 days ago, so I'm only gonna be home for 4 days. So
Let's go.
right back at it. One season into another.
Thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
Yeah, for making some time for us.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Yeah, the first question. That's why I reached out to you saying like, let's do it here, because this was like this is like home base for you. Like growing up, like sure you spent hours and hours in this gym. So first question I want to ask you is like, what does this gym mean to you?
Man, it means everything because it's like my foundation. I've been here from the start of this gym, like before it even started. I don't know. A lot of people don't know, like, before this building was built, the Boys and Girls Club was on Montauk Highway, right across the street over there, and it was a little shack, and it only had 10 computers and a pool table, no backyard, no nothing. And my parents both worked there for youth, just mentoring youth and, you know, keeping them out of trouble every single day. So I grew up in the Boys and Girls Club, and then to see it transform into this and be a foundation for what I'm building in my career and everything, is just like, it's a full circle moment, honestly.
Wow.
Yeah. No, I mean, this is cool. So you grew up, like, did you touch your first basketball at like a Boys and Girls Club?
Yeah. I wouldn't call it the Boys and Girls Club, but there's a park about 5 minutes away from here. And my dad, he was also a coach for the guys team. My mom was a coach for the women's team in Belport. And I just grew up around basketball, and I remember going to the parks, watching like the older men play at like 12 a.m. in the summers, and I just wanted to play so bad. And my dad was like, no, you're too little, all this stuff.
Wow.
I had to be like 8 years old, and I just wanted to play so bad, and I would just shoot on the courts on the side at the park until somebody passed me the ball. And by the time I got older, you know, my dad, he was like, let's do this thing for real.
So I want to, like, because I know we discussed before the episode, we didn't want to like dive too deep into your origin story, because like you already did that. So if you guys are watching,
Go watch episode 2.
Go watch episode 2, and like you can get like the full thing. But like more so for me, like just to get to know you, like at what age did you start taking basketball seriously?
Since I first started. Like, I just have a super competitive mindset with anything I do. So it's just like, if I start something, I take it seriously.
Right.
Yeah.
And how old were you?
I had to be 9.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you had like you had a good work ethic at like 9 years old?
Yes.
That's crazy.
Yes. But it was like stories my dad, he just telling me, like, I truly believe like what I say. Like, I remember I go to church, and the first verse I learned was, I can do all things through Christ. And like, I preached it to people, like not knowing at that age, I was just speaking what I believed.
Wow.
But I was basically preaching to people, like I was serious.
Wow.
You know.
So you had like, you felt at a young age a connection with God? Like you felt like a connection with Jesus Christ at that age?
Yeah, I already knew like how my faith was built upon, like, my parents always, you know, push the word into my spirit and everything. And naturally, it just became my confidence. And I feel like when you just have that type of confidence that just stems from Jesus and, you know, Christ, it really becomes your foundation. So, like, whenever you just get knocked down, you just fall back into the word. And everything hasn't been pretty in my journey, but it's just like, I see, like, how we were talking about you guys being so optimistic about things. Like, I just see optimism in everything that, you know, is thrown my way. So it's just really hard for me to break that confidence.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I saw this like parable. Is about like the Chinese farmer. Did you see that?
No.
You ever heard of that?
No.
So it's like it's like a parable between, like, you never know what's good or bad. So like he's on a farm, right? And the horse runs away. And
Okay.
the neighbor goes, "Damn, that's terrible." And he was like, "Who knows what's good or bad?"
Yeah.
Then the horse comes back the next day and brings 10 horses with him. And the neighbor's like, wow, that's terrific. He's like, who knows what's good or bad?
Wow.
His son jumps on the horse, tries to, tame him, break him in. He falls off, breaks his arm. Now the neighbor's like, that's terrible. The dad goes, who knows what's good or bad? Yeah. The army comes the next day because they're going to war to draft. The son's arm is broken, so they can't draft him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So it's just like you never know what's like actually good or bad. So like I think if you do have like a strong belief in God and have faith, like you just have to know that like everything is like kind of written for you already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think when I got drafted, my agent at the time, he had told me, because I was like feeling down and, just not dwelling on the right things. Because it's hard in that moment when you're working hard for everything and then you just see like a kind of like small downfall. You're like, dang, I thought it was going to go a certain way, but it didn't. But he had told me, nothing happens to you, it happens for you. And ever since then, like it's just been like stemmed in my mind. I just constantly remind myself, like, it's just working for your good in the end.
Yeah.
Take us to draft night, because I was watching. I was on ESPN. Your name was top 5 on every draft board that I saw.
Yeah.
And take us through that night and like what was going on mentally, because every time I saw a team, I'm like, all right, Arella's about to get drafted. Another name got called. Arella's about to get drafted. Another name got called. So walk us through that night and like what was going on in your mind. Like was there anything going on behind the scenes, or what happened?
Behind the scenes, it was just really stressful, honestly, because I feel like I had like no clue what was going on. Like growing up here, I can just say how hard it is when you don't have a blueprint. I feel like I was that blueprint for like my community, honestly. And it was a blessing, but it was also, tough, because it's like you don't have anything to look back on and be like, okay, this is how they did it. And I can like, maneuver or know how to have a sense of something like to work with. And so it was just stressful because I had no clue. Like me and my dad just built this from the ground up. We don't know how to maneuver in this business. We don't really know what's the next step. We're just figuring it out. And I remember just like I caught COVID that week. I was late to training camp. Like just seeing obviously our draft was a little bit different because COVID was still a big thing. I didn't get to go in person. I probably would have been at the draft.
Damn.
Yeah, so it was like we had home stuff and ESPN equipment. We had to set it up like this in our own house. And it was just weird. Like it was just a different experience. And now you see the drafts now and you're like, wow, everybody's sitting at the table. It's kind of normal.
Did it not feel like as glorious for you? Because like even before what pick you went, did the fact that it was like at home, did you almost have like a feeling like it wasn't all it was like it wasn't like this big glorious draft day?
Yeah, if I'm being honestly, like it didn't feel like nothing special. Like it's obviously special, but it didn't feel special because it was just not traditional.
Right.
But, now I look at it and I'm just like, it was a blessing, instead of like just dwelling on what could have been and why it was so different. And now I could be like, well, no other draft has been like mine.
Right. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
Who knows what's good or bad?
Right. Yeah. It's unique.
Right. Yeah. So all right. So you got the whole family at the crib, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
And in your mind, he said you're supposed to go top 5, top 10 in the draft.
Yeah, I was supposed to go top 3.
Yeah,
to
third.
be honest, nothing less
Wow.
than 6th, because New York had the 6th pick, and everybody was assuming if I did go 6, it was going to be to New York.
Wow.
Yeah. Once you didn't go 3, I was like, oh, she's going to New York.
So what did you end
Yeah.
up going?
I went 22. I dropped all the way to the second round.
Wow.
Yeah.
What did that feel like? Do you feel stupid? Did you guys have the team's cake that you thought you were going to?
They give you every hat. They give you every hat for every team. So you don't know what's going on.
Wow.
And I only had conversations with New York, Dallas, Indiana, and I didn't even speak to Atlanta on 3rd, I think. Or I did speak to Atlanta maybe. And, just seeing how far it dropped. I didn't think I was even going to get drafted past the 12th. I had no clue what was going on.
Wow.
To be honest, I signed my agent that day, so he didn't know what was going on either.
Why'd you just sign your agent that day? What was that?
I didn't know the process.
Right.
Like, I was just very indecisive about what I wanted, how I felt, what direction to go towards. I didn't feel like I had the guidance either, so it was just, I was winging it, to be honest. So when I finally did get drafted, it wasn't like, oh my gosh. It was like
Relief.
Wow.
Yeah, it was relief, and it was just like, okay, what do I do? Like, what do I do? I know, like, interviews are going to be asking me how do I feel, and really I had no feeling. Like, I felt like empty. Like,
that's crazy because it's like you've waited, like when we spoke the first time, it was like you've waited for this moment your whole life, and like I feel like you've probably, like you set these expectations of like what it was going to feel like what that moment was finally going to do for you and your family and stuff like that, and then you just said like how like kind of stressful it was, and you were just like, it was like a weight lifted off your shoulders, like all right, now this is over with, like what's next?
Honestly, my feelings didn't process until probably a couple weeks ago about it, and I literally thought about the draft. I wrote just like in my journal about it and everything, and just like how I really truly felt. And yeah, like 2 weeks ago, that's when my feelings finally processed. I finally probably moved on.
And how do you truly feel about it, if you don't mind sharing?
I actually feel good now. I felt like I had to be completely honest with myself and be like, well, you are like really ungrateful. Like, I had to tell myself, like, you were really ungrateful. And that's probably why, like, a lot of stuff, you probably felt so negative about your experience when it truly was a blessing. Honestly, watching this year's draft, like, made me process, like, okay, you didn't go about it the right way, but there was great in that moment that you did not catch, and you need to still process that greatness in that moment. And I finally did.
Yeah. That's amazing. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's something that we almost struggle with a little bit, right? Because like our podcast is literally called The Journey.
Yeah.
And anything that I've learned about happiness and fulfillment and purpose, it's not about getting to some destination or to some end goal, right? Or even going in the third round. Like he talks about it, like there's two types of stories you can have in life. You could have the story where everything just kind of works out, and you get everything you ever wanted, and there wasn't much conflict, right? Or you could have the story where you're supposed to go top 3 in the draft, but then you go 22, and then you get to your team, and then maybe that doesn't pan out, and then now you're in Hungary grinding, you know what I'm saying? Then it leads you to this gym right here. Like that's the better story. So we struggle with that, with I guess, because we've done a lot of dope. Like this setup is fucking spectacular. You know what I'm saying? And we don't even like stop to look at it. So, I guess I just want to say thank you, because I like that to me. I want to take that more so home with me. It is more so about the journey, and then also like nugget to you, like maybe remember that as well, like as you're going to training camp in the next couple of days, and just like it's like it's just like Tom Brady almost. I feel like gives you more fire.
It just makes the story better. It really just makes the story better, because like I feel like you'll end up where you were going to end up regardless, and maybe even further along since you've went through all of these things. And now when people look back, and then they can really see the process of like all the steps it took you to get there, it just makes it like so much more respectable, and it makes it just it's like a better sell, right? Like now you're like, you see all the greats, like they've all gone through like the craziest shit. And like I speak very highly of you with basketball, because like obviously women's basketball is getting a lot bigger now, a lot more recognition, a lot more eyeballs are watching, and a lot of my friends, like they ask me about basketball now with like women stuff like that. And I mean, you're probably the best women's player that I've seen, or like that I've worked out with and stuff like that. So like I don't think people really understand like how good you guys like really are either. And you guys go through the same stuff that the men go through, right? And you may not get the respect that you actually deserve, because you guys are still doing the same thing. I seen you were in the gym last night, right? Yeah. First day, second day back, first day back, you're in the gym. Like people don't get that. They think like it's, I don't know, cookie cutter or whatever, but like just like much respect to you, because like I said, like we've known each other for 8 years now, and it's like you haven't took your foot off the gas. No,
I think the work ethic was always there. It was like I was just reading the Bible, right? And reading how, God was trying to get the Israelites to go to the promised land, right? And they waited 39 years to go there. All because they couldn't change their posture. It was literally sitting there waiting for them. And they would not move into what was already like promised to them right there. They would not move. And it was right there. All they had to do is step into it. But their brains were so chained with negative, just things that holding them back. And they could not move into the promised land that was already set for them. And I feel like I when I read that, and I felt like I basically felt that, because it's like the promised land was always there for me. Like the end goal is already there for me. And I had to change my posture so I can, accept the blessing, be ready for the blessing, be ready to handle my blessings and all that stuff. And sometimes it takes longer than normal because your mind is so conditioned, or you just don't have the right information to handle it. And I think like just like as I got, deeper into the word, I was like, damn, that was a blessing. Like you have, it's right there waiting for you. You have to be, I told myself, like, literally probably 2 days ago, I was like, I already won. Like, I did everything I said I was going to do. I just have to enjoy the journey now and whatever comes with it. Because I'm always going to work hard. It's always going to be there. But I already won. You look at my high school yearbook, it literally says WNBA, professional basketball player. I did it, so it's like now it's about, being postured and living in your purpose instead of focusing on next. I'm here,
Wow.
Take us to LA rookie year, because that was 2021 or 2021, right? So I want us to like kind of maybe even start there, because I'm sure there was a huge like mental growth for you, and like probably like a maturity growth from you from LA to like where you are now. So like talk about like your rookie year experience and then living in LA as well.
And then maybe some of the things, like you said you had to change your posture. Like what about your posture was fucked up in LA?
That didn't happen till probably a couple months ago, honestly. But taking it back to LA, I showed up to training camp with 3 days left. When you get drafted, you're not guaranteed to make a team. Training camp's 2 weeks. I missed the entire training camp basically because I had COVID. And I didn't even expect to probably make the team. You had 2 draft picks before me. But, my competitive nature, I went in there and I was just being me, like confident and all that stuff. And it worked. It worked. So LA was that maturity jump. It was more, it was different because you don't have the same resources in college. Like gym time, all that stuff. Then you got more distractions. I wouldn't say I made that maturity jump in LA, like living in my purpose type maturity jump and just being in the moment. It was tough because I would dwell on the things that I didn't have, the playing time, the opportunity, all that stuff. So I don't think I was postured in that moment. I was just being competitive and being like a killer. And I think that sustained me that year, just being competitive. But now like having just that
wisdom.
Yeah, just wisdom and experience now. I can go into it with just a different mindset, being a better teammate, not knowing like your energy, even though I've never been like a bench player in my life. How to cheer. Like I didn't know how to do that. I didn't know how to give handshakes. I really did.
Right.
But like that's important. Understanding like this is a business. It's not just about you. It's about the organization, all that stuff. Like I can go into this now and with a new opportunity, ready.
So what transpired there for it to not work out? Like why do you think it didn't work out? Like looking back now with this more like purpose and grateful mindset.
I think I would say confidence on my end. and on the other end, like with like owners and coaches and stuff like that, I guess we just didn't have the same like vision.
Yeah.
You know, didn't have the same vision, and that's easy because you have like so many great players in the WNBA. You have teams that are already, you know, like focused on other players, you know, their franchise players, and you have great players like Nika Bumike and Christy Tolliver and all of those greats who are established, and you know, this is their team. Like, so you know, waiting your turn and all that stuff. I don't know why it didn't work out, for real. Like, I really don't know the X's and O's behind why stuff doesn't work out. I know now, like, it doesn't matter, to be honest.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's cool, like, to see stuff like that, and I think it was necessary for your growth, right? Because like you said, like, you've never been a bench player. Like, you know Arella, you know her as, like, best player from Long Island, I think, confident, always, like you said, like a killer. And then you get there, and then there's the vets, right? And you have to, like, almost start from square one again.
Exactly.
And it's essential in, like, your building process, because now, like, you're working into what, year 3 or 4 being pro? Year 3?
Year 3.
Year 3. So, right, like, so now you're about to, like, hit prime, and then you're going to be the vet, you know, and then I'm
That's
sure
crazy.
from really, like, but I'm sure from your experience, like, maybe you didn't have, I mean, I don't know your relationship with them, but maybe you didn't have the best guidance from your vets, right? So now you'll know to give back, like, maybe you be a better guidance and better, like, mentor for the young girls that are coming up.
Yeah, and I can say that, like, I truly didn't feel guided by my vets, but also it's a two-way street, though. You know, you have to take some accountability, like, how many questions are you asking? How many, like, even though you got denied one time, why can't you ask another question? Like, why can't you just keep, you know, being that annoying person who's just like really craving that wisdom around it? Like, you have a 5-time champion with Derek Fisher as your coach. Like, why are you not picking his brain enough and more? You know, I can say, like, you know, it's a two-way street, honestly. So, but now I know, like, there's no dumb question, and you know, if somebody tells you no, it's okay. It's just not for you.
So are you excited to get another run at it?
Yeah. I think just going into it just with a different mindset. And I feel like this opportunity will have a little bit, like, I'll have a little bit more freedom to just kind of be myself in the system too. And just more opportunity to play and everything. So I'm excited about that, honestly. And this is Seattle Storm. They're also a legendary franchise.
Right.
I'll be around legendary players. I know Jewel Lloyd. She's literally one of my favorite players. She's closest thing to a woman's Kobe, honestly. So I'm going to be excited about really picking her brain. I think with, like, LA having NECA, she was a center, even though she's a great vet, because her worth ethic just shows for herself. Like, but having someone who plays similar to me, I can really, like, pick their brain and, like, understand, like, how they do things, what's made them last so long and everything. So I'm excited about going in there.
That's amazing. So are you like, when you go there, like, you think you're gonna play?
Yeah. I have to, because well, every coach tells you that, but I really think this roster, like, if I'm being, like, X's and O, like, type mindset, like, this roster has the ability, like, it's up for grabs. Like, they returned 3 players. Brianna Stewart left. They returned 3 players on the roster: Jewel Lloyd, Izzy, who's a center, and Mercedes, who's a center. So it's like their roster was fully open. And it has a bunch of young players. So I think if, you know, I go in there confident, like I always will, and I have the worth ethic. I played 60-something games this season in Hungary over the years. I feel like I have a lot under my belt, a lot of experience. Just, I'm in a really great shape. So I really am pretty confident.
So it seems to me like from everything I've seen, because I've seen you play a little bit. He showed me, and like you're a savage. You know what I'm saying? You bust my ass 21-0 right now. You know what I'm saying? We almost had a funny idea of like playing, like going, like doing 10 shots after this.
Oh.
And just.
I'm down.
Yeah.
I'm
Do it
down.
on camera.
Yeah.
I haven't shot a
Let's do
basketball
it.
in like 3 months.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, she's definitely gonna outshoot me.
Yeah. And then, but no. So like for me, like I could just tell, like, it's not talent. Like talent's easy for you. I think you got the talent. I think it's more so just like your mindset, you know, and like your mental. So like, what are some things that you're gonna do this time around with your mental to keep yourself like almost bulletproof? Because I think realistically, like outside looking in, everything happens for a reason, and obviously it's all about like right foot, left foot, you know, just like being in the moment. But if I were to go to the NFL right now, I know for a fact I'd be like serious into like some meditation or serious in some scripture. Like what are some things like you're going to be doing to like keep yourself like dialed?
I have like excuse me guys.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah. I have a strict routine. When I wake up, right into my books, right into my journal, right into worship. I do that before I leave the house. Sometimes I meditate before it too. And then before I go to bed, I'm right back into it. And I spent hours doing this. It depends on how I'm feeling. But I'll spend from 1 hour to 3 before I even leave the house and before I go to sleep. So I'm conditioning my mind to only dwell on gratefulness. Like constantly reminding myself when I have bad days, honestly, I'm looking for something good. I have to write down 3 things I'm grateful for, even if I'm in moods or like, you know, just having an attitude or not having a great day. Like I have to write 3 things I'm grateful for. So I'm just conditioning my mind to stay in gratefulness, move in gratefulness. And I feel like that's just helped me to just deal with whatever comes, honestly. And obviously, just staying into my work habits, honestly, my workout habits.
Who taught you about like have you picked up like that gratefulness practice from anyone?
Did I? Let me see.
Cause that's cool. Like I've heard, like, you know what I'm saying? Like I've heard a lot of people like speak about like the morning is for you and God. Like that's your time. Like don't do any type of business. Don't do any type of, just anything. Like you have to like make sure you're right before you can even leave the crib, and you have to do it at nighttime again. So I'm just wondering where do you pick that up from?
I always was like taught to write stuff down. And then you constantly hear in the Bible, it was written, it was written, it was written. So I think I just started writing my feelings down because I'm not really great at speaking them. And once that happened, I just caught ideas just to keep, do more writing and write down the gratefulness things and all that stuff. So I wouldn't say I was taught, but if it stemmed from somebody, it stemmed from my father. I would always be like nosy around the house and look at their journals and everything and see like all the things they would write. They would have notebooks full of just written things. Wow. So like I'm kind of turning into them a little bit.
I want to kind of shift gears back to after LA, kind of like your trajectory since the draft. Talk about Ukraine, because I know that was kind of like a hectic situation, right? Because like that was when everything was pretty much like boiling up in that area. So what happened there? Like what was your experience like as like an American, like obviously like trying to get out the country?
Yeah, of course they like try to keep you there. I know like me and some other Americans from the teams in Ukraine, they had contacted FIBA saying we were runaways and stuff because we were scared to like stay there. And luckily I had at the time World Cup qualifiers, so I had to leave and go to DC with Puerto Rico. So I got a kind of like a free ticket out of there. But my dumb self went back and played for one game in the cup, and we won the cup. And that next day I was out, but they were telling me like, please stay, like you guys are going to be perfectly fine. They're not going to do anything. Like, Ukrainians, they truly believed that Russia wasn't going to do anything. And it was tension, like, because you have your family and you have what they're telling you. They're like, we are going to be fine.
Yeah.
They've been on this border for 9 years and they haven't done a thing. And then you have what the U.S. is reporting, and they're like, we're not coming to save you. If you guys choose not to leave, we're not coming to get you. Like, leave now. And they were saying this for weeks. And you go on the streets and you see, like, men in uniforms, like, walking down the street, and they're all in lines. And I was just like, you know, I would take pictures here and there. I never feel unsafe, but I was definitely uneasy because the tension between, like, both types of news that I was getting. You know.
What was your family telling you?
Get the hell up out of there. My mom was like, bring your ass home now.
So you're there when Putin declares war on Ukraine?
Yeah.
Wow.
I left a day and a half before the first bombing, and then they bombed the airport the next day.
So yeah. you wouldn't have even been able to leave?
No. Nope. Wow. It was crazy because that day, I felt perfectly fine that last game. But then when I was buying my flight home, I couldn't get the flight, nothing. I've traveled through the Ukraine airport plenty of times. One of the slowest airports I've ever seen. Nobody's there. Nobody travels. You get through in 5 minutes. That day, when I went to the airport, my flight's overbooked. I had to buy a flight in cash. Luckily, I had cash on me. To buy a flight in cash, it cost like $1,000.
Yeah.
Like, it was ridiculous. Yeah. The airport is packed, the most packed I've ever seen. It took me like 2 hours to even get my bag checked, and it was ridiculous. Like, you can feel the uneasiness. I just couldn't wait to get out of the airport. Like, as soon as I got to my layover in Poland, I felt at ease.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
that's wild. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, basketball took you to Ukraine, and now
yeah.
Putin's about to bomb the motherfucker. Damn. Yeah. That's terrible.
Yeah. I would say the most uneasy feeling, though, because you have your team group chats, and the most uneasy feeling was seeing how my team was communicating throughout that time, because you see them go from, you know, this confidence, like, we're going to be fine and all this stuff, to, you know, making sure they're all okay. Hey, guys, like, you hear their texts. We're going to go down in this bunker. We hear bombs, but, you know, we're all good over here. But everybody go underground. Turn off your phone. They're tracking your phones. Like, you see these texts in real life, and you're like, I was just with these girls 2 days ago. And now all of these messages have turned from what time is practice to this.
Right.
You know, so it was really uneasy.
Are you still in contact with some of them? Like, are some of them still over there?
Yeah. A lot of them have moved out. What's crazy is I went to play in the Hungarian Cup game, right? We had won 3rd place in the cup. I'm doing my exit interview, and I'm walking around to go take a shower, and I see my coach and his wife. And she just stops me. And I almost cried because I haven't heard a word from them. They don't have social media or nothing. All the other girls, they have social media, and I can check in with them, see how they're doing. They don't have social media, nothing. And I haven't seen them in, a year? So seeing, like, them in person, and they were watching my game and seeing that they live in Hungary now, it was like, oh, my gosh, you're okay. Like, it was really uneasy.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy.
That's insane. Wild. It makes you think, right? Like, I remember because football ended for me. Like, I was kind of pissed off, honestly. Like, I spent a long time in my life, like, trying to play Division I football. As you could tell, I'm a 6'1.5" Italian guy. Like, I'm not, you know what I'm saying? I'm not NFL lineman, you know what I'm saying? But I worked, like, I didn't have any other identity growing up. You know, like, I just played football and I got bitches. You know what I'm saying? So that was like. But I couldn't, you know, go to college for getting bitches, you know what I'm saying? So I had to.
Now you can.
No, I had to. I had a little bit of a funny, like, thing. Like, I think God, I kind of had one of those moments where I fell off the horse and broke my arm. I didn't fall off a horse or break my arm, but like for me, high school really was all about like being popular, right? And then my 11th grade year, I got really fat, and then I wasn't popular anymore. Like, but I didn't mean to. I was just drinking a lot of Bud Light and eating pizza, you know. So like,
Great eats.
Yeah, great eats. But so long story short, I had nothing else to do but football. So I literally spent like the next 5 years like grinding my ass off in junior college, like trying to get a Division I scholarship, and I ended up doing it. But I told you before the podcast, like I just broke my body in the process because like I'm Italian, like my ancestors were probably painters, you know what I'm saying? Like we you know what I'm saying? Like I wasn't supposed to be. Bro, I'm running into 6'7", 330 pounds, full speed. Like like what?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I don't have that in me. I had to, so whatever. Anyway,
You had to condition your mind to do that.
Right.
yeah, to break it literally. But anyway, so the whole point is, I remember when the game was done, I was like, fuck, I was going that hard for a game.
Yeah.
You know? So like you're in the Ukraine and people are like losing lives, you know, like your teammates, you know, and it's like, yo, like it really is a game. And that's why I think what you said about being grateful is so amazing. Like I wanted to ask you, like, do you even like basketball, or like do you even, you know, like what does basketball mean to you? But like I've kind of realized in this conversation that like you love it's your life. You know what I'm saying? I don't even think it's a matter of if you like it or not. Like it's literally your life, you know? So I think that that's just so, for you to even be able to play professional basketball is like, that's the coolest shit ever.
Yeah.
You know,
like I look at other people, and there's nothing wrong with 9 to 5s, honestly.
Yeah.
But I look at it and I'm just like, I gotta work happy every single day, and I make my own time besides going to practice, which takes what, as a professional athlete, you practice an hour and a half max now.
Yeah.
Hour and a half max.
Yeah.
You have 40 minutes of film. That is 3 hours out of your day of a 24-hour schedule.
Right.
I'm okay.
Yeah.
I'm not, like, when you look at it on a scale of things, yeah, you don't want to go to the gym sometimes and your body hurts. But then it's like, I really enjoy it, and I like the pain.
Yeah.
I like the pain. But one thing I always prided myself on, though, like all basketball aside, like I love basketball. Like it's inside of me. It's engraved inside of me. Like I couldn't imagine not doing anything out of it, but it's never been my identity. Never. If I wanted to stop playing basketball today and dive into acting, dive into music, dive into something, I would go full head of steam, like, and not look back at all, because I literally believe I can do all things through Christ. So whatever is my calling, or I feel is my calling, I will step into that. And it's going to be tough, like once I put the ball down, obviously, because I'm just so attached to it and everything. But I never let that become my identity and be like, oh, I'm just a basketball player. I'm only here to play basketball in this world. Like, it's always been bigger than me, and I've always felt that. I always knew that. Like, so it's not my identity, you know.
Yeah.
I think that's what's going to make you go far with basketball, because you're not attached to it.
Yeah.
Right? There's like two ways. I say this shit all the time. There's two ways to hold something. I could hold it like this, or I could fucking do this shit to it, you know, and I could break it, you know. So like, I feel like for you, that's kind of like your secret weapon. I think that's we again, like I said it before, like we're trying to do more of that, you know, and just expand, because it's like, it's stressful. Like if you need something to work, and then it's not working, your mental health is going to be all screwed up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Your mental health is going to be all screwed up. So that's great. I mean, could you see yourself, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to harp too much on that, because, like, I think you are on a mission. Like, I feel like we're all on a mission now together. You know what I'm saying?
We are,
Yeah, no, seriously.
We are. Like,
But
you don't cross paths like this for no reason, honestly.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I mean, like, yeah, maybe we come out, you know what I'm saying? Do a little, maybe we commentate a game, like, just on you.
Okay.
We're in the stands. All right. Arella going down the court.
I tried to go when you guys were playing New York, and that was when the huge flood hit New York City. I bought the tickets.
Yep.
And then the game obviously got canceled. So I ended up going to the Liberty. Who they play? Oh, I went to the Storm, Sue Bird's last game in New York.
Look at it.
Look at that.
Yeah,
Look at that.
The tickets I bought to go see Arella, I ended up watching the Storm at New York with
It's so
Sue
many
Bird,
Wow.
Brianna Stewart.
See that?
And now she's on the Storm. Pretty crazy. And
It's
you
so
just
crazy.
said, yeah.
So many connections with Seattle Storm, and I have no clue why. Obviously, I know I'm on the team, but I have no clue why, because my friend, he was playing in Las Vegas, and for the G League, Summer League, and he goes out there, and the old Storm coach, this is when I got let go. Everybody's like thinking I'm so devastated, and I was. My pride was hurt, honestly.
Right. Yeah.
But that was the main thing. Me, honestly, I was just telling my dad, like, I wasn't really, like, too sad about it. Like, my pride was hurt. Is more because, like, oh, everybody has an opinion on it, honestly. Like, you're just like, oh, she wasn't good enough. No, that's not the case.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you have 144 spots, and then 36 more people get drafted every single year. Like, it's hard to make WNBA, and it's no excuse. But I just knew basketball didn't stop for me. Like, I knew it was going to keep going. And my love for the game, it's not attached to the WNBA. Like, yeah, I would love to be in the WNBA, but it's not attached. And that's what was good about me in that moment. It was just like, I'm going overseas. I'm still playing the game I love. Might not be in the States with my family, but I'm still playing basketball.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Oh, damn,
It's almost cooler. It's almost cooler because it's like, yo, you get to go overseas and
Travel.
get paid, and
Travel
you're
the
still
world.
playing like good competition. You said you
Yeah.
played what, 60 games?
60-something games.
Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? That's world class.
Ridiculous.
Like, yeah.
It's almost an NBA season.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
How many is in the WNBA?
35.
35.
think.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it's with playoffs.
Yeah.
Depends on how long you go
Right.
deep into the playoffs, but I think minimum like 35.
Yeah,
So
that-
you're conditioned now to be able to
Like,
go
yeah.
whole season, right? And that's cool because like now you're really coming off of a season,
Yeah.
like right into a new season. Like like in the NBA they have like a huge off season. Your off season you were playing pretty much from the WNBA. So now you're coming in, you're already in rhythm. You don't have to get in shape. So yeah, I think it'll be like we'll look back. It'll be two completely different stories from like the Storm and like LA, and
Yeah.
it'll all work itself out.
It will.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Does- Go on.
sorry.
No, you're good.
Yeah, but back to that story though, because it's actually really good. And the Storm head coach,
Oh yeah.
he had just ran into my friend Heem, and he was talking about basketball, and Heem didn't know who he was at the time. And he was talking, and he was like, yeah, I know somebody in the WNBA and all this stuff. He's like, oh, who? He's like, do you know Arella Guirantes? He said, yeah, I know her. And this is the Storm old head coach, and he's like, yeah, I know her. Don't worry, she'll be back.
Wow.
I have no clue. He's like, I have no doubt she'll be back. And now, a year later, I'm playing on the Storm. Like, there's so many connections to
Wow.
how all this just pans out. It's crazy.
Yeah.
You know, so dope. So
Have you
dope.
had any other like blaring examples of that in your life?
Oh, man.
We
Off
do
the
it.
top of my head?
We do it every day.
Yeah,
we get some type
Every
of
day.
shit. You know what I'm saying?
Like
Some
every
type
day,
of,
yeah.
like I'll say. Like, what did I say last night? What did I say? I said the word limiting belief. He opens his phone. First clip he watches says
TikTok, it's
yeah.
a guy talking about
Limiting
like,
beliefs.
what's holding you back is your limiting beliefs.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we live our lives like I almost don't understand how people don't believe in God.
It's crazy, right?
What is that? Why do you think? Well, you got any opinions on that? Like,
I feel like it just stems from, maybe like just doubt, honestly. Like, maybe like a lot of people need to see things to believe it. And the crazy thing about faith is literally just believing in something you don't see yet. And a lot of people are focused on the end goal, and they need to see the end goal instead of taking on that one step each day to get to the end goal and not even worrying about it.
yeah.
And I think that's why a lot of people don't believe in God, because they want to see it for real. They want to see it for real. They want to see the miracle happen before their eyes. Like, you read all those stories in the Bible, and you see how Jesus is literally healing people in front of everybody, and now everybody's rolling up. But if Jesus wasn't healing people and he was saying, I could do these things for you, but you need to believe, or it'll come in a year later or down the line. It won't happen right now, but people need to see it now. And yeah, I think that's why the main reason.
Yeah, I think it's like backwards, like you were saying. Like if everyone wants to see it, you know what I'm saying, like tangibly, like but I think the only way to see it is to believe first, because like once you live in like a more open mind in the belief of it, then you start to notice all the things actually happening around you. But if you are so focused on like you ask for something and you want something and it doesn't happen right away, and then that's what you said, like people get doubtful. And because like I've progressed over time, like I probably say it every episode, but like I questioned God and my belief and like everything, like when my mom died.
I remember that, yeah.
So I would always be like, why? You know, like what, like who would do that to a 12-year-old? But now, like, as like I've been doing this and just seeing the way my whole life has panned out with basketball, to meeting Jake, and like how like we played football together. He was a center, I was a quarterback in 8th grade. You know what I mean? And now we're sitting here like
I can't see
this.
you being a quarterback.
That was tough. That was tough. I still play quarterback.
Yeah, he's athletic. If he was 5 inches taller,
I know.
No, I told him I like really think like if I was 6'5", 6'6", I'd be in the NBA. I think so.
You doing those little
no, he's tough.
Yeah.
I'd be going to the games and shit. You know what I'm saying?
I really do. I truthfully, like, humbly think that. Just because,
honestly,
like,
yeah, that's why I even like answered you back in the day. I'm like, who's this white boy over here dunking? Like,
that's funny.
That's my guy.
But yeah, like to bring it all, like then once I just like became like open to it, right, and like really just like meditating, journaling, spending time alone, seeing all the things that are really happening around me, like actually being grateful, and I was like, wow, like there is a lot of shit going on that is like totally out of my control, and like these are just like being thrown into my life by someone else.
It makes your life better.
yeah,
You know, like it makes your life better. Like that's a big part of why I believe, and I do have tremendous faith in God, just because like I'm so, again, he said it before, you have it backwards, and you said it, like people don't believe it because like they can't see it. So like faith, like the people that, you know, like believing in God is all about having faith, because like you literally can't see it. But like I also, from a young age, I went to a Baptist camp growing up. My mom's a born-again Christian. The football group that I trained in was called Jesus Juice, strengthened by the Holy Spirit.
Oh, wow.
So, like, I was doing Bible study. You know what I'm saying? So, I've been on the wave. So, I think because I got on the wave early, it's just so easy for me to recognize it and understand it. But even if I couldn't recognize and couldn't understand it, I would still try to believe in it, because like it makes life better. Like, I think if you don't have any faith, if something happens to you, it almost seems like the end of the world.
Yeah, it could break you. Yeah, it could break you.
But if you have faith, it's all right, God, I get it. You know, like it's very rare that we even really get down on ourselves for more than a day. You know, we always bounce back.
What's the point of dwelling on the negative? Like literally nothing great has ever came from that.
Yeah.
If I throw a tantrum after a bad game, what does it solve? Like literally, what does it solve? I've done it before. I've literally had mental breakdowns in the middle of games, in the middle of workouts and all that stuff. And I look at it and I'm like, did that literally solve anything? It didn't make me play better. It didn't make me shoot better. It didn't make me feel better.
Right.
So it's like, it's no point.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's harder, it's easier to say than do, because you're going to feel emotions. But I read in my devotional like 3 days ago, it was like, feelings are not your reality. They don't have to be your reality. You can feel sad, you can feel mad, you can feel angry, you can question, but it's not your reality. And once you focus on your reality that, hey, I'm living, I'm breathing, there's people who want my opportunity, there's people who literally cannot get this, even if they wanted to, no matter how hard they worked. They don't have this position, they don't have this favor, they don't have no guidance, nothing. Like, there's plenty of basketball players in this world that don't have parents that will travel or have the freedom to travel and do AAU and put you in that position to even be looked at a college coach, the first step, or even pass you the ball, pour into you, all that stuff. There's parents that literally don't even believe in their children, and you're over here and you're worried about your feelings. It's not your reality, you know?
Yeah. That was a bar.
Yeah, that was a bar. No, it's true, man. I heard, like, I was listening to, who was I? I was listening to yesterday. I think it was Wayne Dyer. So I'm also, like, I used to be like a big Christian.
Yeah.
Now I'm more so spiritual. I do fuck with Jesus, you know what I'm saying? I got a relationship with him. Nah, you know what I'm saying? No, because I don't like. I just
he's
don't.
so Italian, bro.
I just don't see rules. Like rules to me, like the thing that my problem with Christianity was just how rigid some of it could be. Like to me, like I'm like, bro, God doesn't care if I say I fucking love God. You know, someone would be like, you said fuck and then God in the same sentence. You're a dick. I'm like, for me, it just doesn't make sense to me, you know. But
I feel like everyone has their own relationship.
And that's all it's about.
Yeah, like it's personal to you. So however you view God and however you think God views you, like that's your way.
It's about relationship. There's literally times where I'm speaking to God like he's my friend, in slang and all. Like, what up? What's up? Like
I do that all the time.
Yeah.
Every night, every time I pray. You know, sometimes I give him a Morgan Freeman voice. You know what I'm saying? I'm kidding. It's a joke. No.
So stupid.
But anyway, so I was saying, like,
He's like, who is this?
Yeah. It's just me talking to myself. No. So no. Anyway, so like, there's this guy named Wayne Dyer. Because for me, I think faith is step one. But if you really want to take your life to the next level, you got to have that faith. You got to have that belief in God. But then you got to introduce some of the Eastern practices and then even some of the Western practices. What I mean by that is the Eastern, like, I think you have to learn a little bit about Buddhism because Buddhism is really amazing for being centered.
Balanced.
And not balanced, not overindulgent, and also learning mindfulness. Like that comes Zen Buddhism, meditation, like learning about that really helped me, right? But then also the Western, learning about psychology, right? Learning about how the mind works, you know, like my aunt, she's going through a divorce. She's going through like a really tough time. And I almost feel like when she's having some of her bad days, I'm almost like, oh, it's because, you know, you're not sleeping and you're eating like shit and you're, you know what I'm saying? Like there is all this like stuff going on in medicine and science that you can learn too. So I like to mold a little bit of all three: God, you know, God and faith, you know, overall spirituality, and then science. Yeah. So there's this one guy I listened to named Wayne Dyer, and I was listening to him last night, and he was saying. Kind of like what you were saying, like, yo, your feelings aren't your reality. He was saying, he's like, some people wake up in the morning and they think about all the, like they're laying in bed and they think about all they have to do that day and they're getting upset, they're getting anxious, when in reality, all you're doing is laying in bed. Yeah. You know? Like, that's the only thing you're doing. Like, so like, I just want to say, like, you know, for the viewers, like more so, because that's something that I struggle with, is, hey, like, I think that's a great point. Like, yo, your reality, if it's, you said it before, if you're, first of all, worrying does absolutely nothing for you. So you have to, like, find a way just to get rid of that. But I think the only thing, I think your feelings, they just come and go, you know, and like certain things impact them. So I think that, you should just live more in that, in your reality. Yeah.
I wanted to like outside of basketball, because like I know you've done some modeling. I see you make some music now. You've been singing, right? And I know like you would write. Oh,
let's go! I didn't know that.
Yeah,
that's tough.
So like talk about because like that's pretty cool. Like you said, like if you wanted to do something else, you could, and like you've already kind of had a foundation with that. I wanted to. Was it like a modeling shoot? Because you're signed with Jordan, right? Yeah. So what was that, a modeling shoot like with Jordan?
Yeah.
Did you meet him?
No.
No?
No.
So where was that?
That actually took place in California.
Okay.
I didn't sign with Jordan in the time of their women's retreat. They do that every year. And that's when he was there, and they did the 9 new women had signed to Jordan. It was like a record thing. And I think we have 14 women, and it's like the largest group of women in the sports brand, especially basketball players. And yeah, they had a women's retreat. They did this shoot, and they hang out, do everything. And I was late because I was drafted. Then I signed with Jordan and all that stuff, and then we did that shoot in California right before training camp and everything. Yeah.
So do you have aspirations of modeling, acting, like actually pursuing a music career? Because I think you and I have spoke before with the acting.
Yeah.
'Cause, like, she would do like little skits like on TikTok where like she would
We need
like
you in an ad.
yeah, no, for real. Like she would do like skits like from a movie, but she would do the voiceover. And I was like, yo, like, you should really, like, get into that. Because, like, she would, like, play the scene, like, the tone of, like, her face, like, her facial expressions, the hand gestures, like, everything was, like, really good. Like, I thought for, like, you just setting up your phone and just doing it, like, on the spot. Like, imagine you had, like, an acting coach and, like, it was, like, an actual scene. So, like, do you actually have, like, aspirations of maybe pursuing, like, one or all three of those?
Yeah. I mean, I think it started in my graduate year in college, and I wanted to do my master's in theater, but COVID messed a lot of things up, and that specific master's has to be in person. So they cut that off, and I think I just did like small little acting classes online and everything. So that's what I learned, to like prop up my phone and just use what I have. Honestly, I still be doing that to this day. Like, I'll try like little monologues that I love watching.
Tough.
And I'll do it. But yeah, I do want to pursue that for real. Honestly, my mind is like so ADHD. I just want to do everything. And I'm very passionate about everything I do. So the music career, I'm a little bit of, like, I'll be honest, like, I'm a little insecure about, because it's a different ball game, honestly. I don't know. And my brother, he's really great at music. Like, he's so good. And that's where I started from, just being around him, hearing how he went about, like, creating music and all the stuff he does. And it's just, I kind of fell in love with that. I don't know if I would pursue a career, but I would definitely just, like, put out music, like, do some, like, Dame Dollar stuff, and just, like, put out music, be, like, a nice, cool hobby. Like, I've grown up, I've always been around music. I played 3 instruments, like, and then I taught myself too. Like, so I think it's always going to be inside of me because I just grew up around it,
Yeah. Yeah, I remember seeing some on, like, Twitter where, like, you would kind of, it was like you would write them down, like, freestyles.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, it kind of, like, sound, you had, like, the Lady London, like, flow to it.
Oh my gosh, why would you say that?
You don't think so?
I love her.
Oh, yeah.
I love her.
I think you had,
everybody
like
says that.
Everyone says that?
Yes, everybody I send my freestyle to.
Yeah.
Because I have a bunch of freestyles. Like, I literally have in my notes right here, not performing it. But
Let me do it. Let me do it.
My iPad, like, if I'm on long flights, if I'm not reading or watching movies, like, I'm literally writing music. So I just find a beat and I'll literally just write to it. It's so fun though.
Yeah. So is that like a release for you? Like, is that like kind of like, I know you say you journal. Is that like another way of like expressing your feelings and like what's going on in your mind?
Yeah.
Or do you just do it like completely like creative? Like,
it's kind of a release sometimes, but I like to be a little creative, to be honest, because I realize if I let it be a release, I just be making simp shit. Like,
right.
I'm sick of all the. I don't want to be sad all the time. Every time I release, or like try to be so deep and everything. So I try to make it a little bit more fun now, because I was like writing music when I was in Hungary and I was bored, and I'm like, damn, every song I make is so fucking sad.
It's like side A of Scorpion. Of
Yeah.
Or side B, I think.
Like, damn, this is some emo shit.
Yeah.
But no.
Well, that's cool. Well, hey, if you ever want to get into it, I recommend get you a TikTok trending song. blow up overnight, like Ice Spice. That's how she blew up.
Well, that's his favorite song.
Yeah, I love Ice Spice. She's OD. I'm gonna date her one day.
Manifestation.
So Ice Spice, if you're watching now. All right, cool. Let's put some shots up.
Yeah. You got anything else? Oh well, we've been ending this.
Last question.
We've been ending this with like our last 3 or 4 guests, and I think it's a good way to bring it home. What is your purpose? What is Arella's purpose here on Earth? Why are you here?
Damn, why you ask me that? Shit. Okay. What is my purpose? Honestly, I feel like I'm still finding that out, to be honest. But I know it's bigger than me, and I know it'll be revealed. But I feel like I like to bring things together. You know, I like to be a problem solver. I like to, I like peace around me. So I feel like I bring a sense of peace to people I'm around. I like people to always feel comfortable, unjudged, understood. Yeah, I feel like I like to bring people closer to Christ too. And if they're uncomfortable with being closer to Christ, bring them closer to faith. You know, if you can separate the two, and like you was talking about, like dabbling into different faiths, different religions, because I feel like all of them have the same goal. It's to make you a better you. You look at all these Bible stories, if you read the Bible and disconnect it from being religious and structured and all that stuff, all these Bible stories is just about being on a journey, going through something, and overcoming it through faith. No matter what's the timeline, it can happen in one day. It can happen right now in front of you. It can happen in 39 years. To get to the promised land is literally just about being, if you look at it and you read it and, personalize it towards yourself and connect with other people. And I feel like I connect with other people. I have an understanding with other people, so I can bring them and, just pour into them. And, that's what I feel like my purpose is, pouring into people, I said I don't know at the end, and then I just started talking about it. And
you wrote the book.
Found your purpose.
You're going to take a piece of that, put that in the intro to one of your songs.
That was literally God speaking through me at that moment, because I was like, I don't know my purpose, and then I literally just started speaking through it.
I think God speaks. I think God I think God speaks through people in every moment. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know where these words are coming from. I'm just saying these words really fast right now. I'm just saying these words. God must be, you know what I'm saying?
No, this was good.
Cool.
Jake and I will definitely come to some games this year when you guys play at the Barclays.
We're fucking Seattle Storm fans now.
Let's go.
Yeah, let's go.
I was gonna ask you to like bring like an old jersey, and me and him were both gonna wear like your jerseys during the episode.
I looked at my jersey like before I walked out. I had my Sparks jersey and I looked at it and I was like, that's so corny. I'm not wearing it.
No, you should, bro. I would have wore it.
Yeah.
Backwards with your last name on it. That would be funny. It would have been a little tight on him.
I was just gonna paint myself.
Purple and yellow.
With the foam
right,
finger.
22, right here.
That's your number?
What number are you wearing this year?
I think I'm going back towards 11. 11 was the first number I started with in CYO, so I'm going to go back.
Cool.
Number 11.
11 was my first number in college, too.
Twins.
Senior year, too, when we met.
Twins.
All right. Let's see if I can outshoot you.
All right.
Let's do it.
Should we just run it?
These are 3-point shots. I was like, oh, my God.
Oh, where are we shooting?
It could be any shot. And whatever. I don't know how this works.
I just have a shot and
It's all right. Use some legs.
Yeah, Jake asked, he was like, do you ever lose like your jump shot? And I was like, not really. I feel like
You always can shoot. It's just how comfortable you are when you're shooting.
yeah, that is true. All right, so who's going first?
You want me to go first?
Yeah,
We can go back and forth.
Oh, we're going shot for shot. Oh gosh.
Oh, let me take my
Oh yeah, this is coming up.
Yeah, get right. Let's get. Let's
He
get.
says he's a competitor. I'm playing to win.
I mean, I can't take. It's okay. I mean,
Are you sure with the glasses?
yeah. I'm gonna put them on. Okay.
Tough.
Let's make it a little bit. All right, we'll start right here.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Oh, I got a jean jacket on. Ma, you want to rebound?
I really don't.
No?
I'll rebound.
I will.
All right. It's off one. Let me get one more. Okay, that's good.
Ooh-wee.
All right, I just need to find it. There's one.
Oh, I'm good.
You get one more.
I'm
one.
good.
Okay, you
Ooh.
Okay.
Good.
All right, here we go. Ooh, short. Short.
Uh-huh. We ain't doing it like last time.
Oh, yeah, we're good.
Oh.
All right, Zach.
This shit.
This is JJ Redick.
We were supposed to do this with JJ Redick. We should have told them about that.
Two.
All right, so what are we going to?
Let's do tens.
10?
All right, I'm gonna pass two.
Okay.
Let's just finish it out.
Oh, yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Uh-huh. Oh, yeah.
Okay, Zach.
Come on,
Should
cuz.
we have him play for defense?
I like this. That's my guy. That's my guy.
We don't lose.
That's my guy right there.
What do you say, Jay? We don't
Ooh,
lose.
we don't lose. What? What is that? Yo, you're just kind of spazzing out right now.
We don't lose.
Yeah, no. Yo, come on, baby. Come on, baby.
Uh-huh.
Ooh.
Come on.
Oh.
What's that, 6'8"?
Yep.
6'7"?
Yep.
6'8"?
Okay, regain. We good. We good.
We're good.
You know what I'm saying? We had that
We're good.
that pasta last night, cuz. We good. Ooh.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
I fuck with that. A little 8-10. All right, let's see what we got with the W. Yeah, right.
Shots have been made on this hoop.
Oh, one.
Oh. Uh-oh.
One.
Pressure's on.
I ain't gonna chirp. I'm just back here.
I'm not worried.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
I'm not worried.
Ooh.
1-3. 2-4.
Uh-huh.
3-5.
Uh-huh.
4-6.
Okay, she found it now.
Yeah. 5-7. See, this is what I was telling you.
This is crazy.
It's off left.
Yeah.
It's alright. It's alright. That was a warm up.
What's the next spot? Middle?
Yeah, wherever you want. Wherever you want.
We doing threes? No.
Just watch out for. I mean, if you go and hit the rim,
Huh?
soft. If you hit the rim soft, I don't like to hit your equipment.
Oh,
No, we good.
I make shots.
Okay.
I make shots.
There he is. There he is.
2-2.
Ah.
Come on.
Damn, cuz, you're tough.
Tell you.
You were not doing this at Lifetime the other day.
3-2.
Damn.
Why are you supposed to?
I'm trying to help you out. You're supposed to. I need you to win this. Nah. Let's go, cuz.
Uh-huh. 4-5.
Damn. Cuz is tough.
5-6. You never lose it. 6-7.
Ah. Damn.
7-8.
Damn, bro.
Nope. 8-9.
Ah.
Come.
Damn. You.
I need it.
He needs it. He needs it. He needs it.
Right now. Let's get it. Oh, one.
Okay, mama getting the rebound. I like that.
There we go.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't like that one. That was supposed to go in. Ooh, short.
4-7.
Yeah. 5-8. 6-9. Ooh. It's alright. 7.
All right, I think we settled it. I think we settled.
On top.
I think we settled the beef. I think we settled that beef right there. Yeah, cuz let me get right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, let me get right.
Free throws. Free throws.
Free throw?
Free throw line.
Yeah, we can go.
So I want you to talk about a basketball in my hands.
Not good.
This feels like.
Now the equipment should watch out.
It feels like.
All right, let's stand on this side.
Right.
I don't know. When I shoot this, I don't know where it's going. You know what I'm saying?
Thank God the windows are right.
All right.
Well, this is a very forgiving room. You know, I got a couple dents in it.
Damn. Yeah, see? Got Arella running all over the court. I'm an energy guy. Once I get the confidence, then I'm sending it. Oh, wait, let me get right. Oh, wait. What's that? Okay. I'm right there with it. Yeah.
That's it.
Let me get one more. I gotta make one. Yeah.
I need one.
I gotta make one.
All right.
All right.
Okay, you gotta get a little stronger than
Get
that.
rid of it.
You gotta use
look
this
at
right
this.
here.
I told you, I know where it's. I don't know where it's going.
All right, we gotta get you one make though.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna have her coach me up. Let me get up.
Let's get a.
So first of all, what do I need to be doing here? Like.
First, you need this right here, not on the side. That's why you're going like this.
Okay. So I gotta get it.
Yeah, this guide hand. This is where the guide goes. This is for. Well, this is your
opposite.
Yeah, this is your guide hand right here.
Okay.
You want to use that. You're strong enough to get it to the room. Don't worry about that. Just worry about the foundation right here. Yeah. So let's do that.
Alright, so I'm underneath it.
Yeah.
Guide hand here.
Yeah, actually just shoot this right here.
Just shoot just like
Yeah,
this?
forget this hand.
So like just
And
right
just
here?
hold it, yeah.
Okay.
So now it's straight.
Yeah.
That wasn't bad.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, that wasn't good.
It's alright. You have to start a little bit closer with those.
One more.
Yep.
Here we go. I'm ready now.
He's focused. Make this.
All things through Christ. Uh-huh.
There it goes. It was there.
Last one right here. I'm back to the old ways right there.
There it goes.
It
There it goes.